Well, that was somebody who's just returned from all three affected countries. Let's speak to Manuel, Senior Research Associate at the think tank, the Overseas Development Institute, focusing on research on global international development and humanitarian issues. Who is giving the most at the moment in this crisis, and what else is needed?
US is undoubtedly giving the most. Their numbers have now risen to something over $500 million. The UK is next there with something like $200 million. And then there's a range of people below that. Overall, the UN appeal has got about half the money it says it needs to raise. So money is starting to come in. But I think the clear message, and we're hearing it from many people, this is not yet enough.
No, but it's not just money, is it? Presumably it's also doctors. When you look at the infrastructure in these countries, well, I think Sierra Leone's got about 70 doctors or something, hardly anyone.
No, you're absolutely right. The problem isn't merely money, the problem is the staff, and actually that is probably the most critical thing, and that is probably what the heads of state are going to be talking about now, because what we need is trained medics to actually deliver the support that's needed.
But the problem is, as we've seen from Texas and indeed in Spain, even trained medics can become infected. I mean, is there going to have to be some sort of financial incentive to persuade people to go over there, or are you just relying on people's sense of conviction and moral duty to do this?
I think there's a mixture of two things. I mean, it's amazing that something like 650 NHS staff have volunteered to go. That's tremendous. What they need to be assured is they are going to have safe environments. That means constructing the thing, but the risks are there. But what's really worrying is that there's just not enough treatment places. And if you can't get people treated, the risks of infection spreading in the community are there. And that's why we're all saying we're losing the race at the moment.
Just looking at the trajectory of this and how different countries are reacting, obviously people are terrified. Is there a line, though, that you think could well be crossed, where countries are actually going to say, we want to seal our borders, we don't want to have anyone from these countries travelling through?
I think for some of the countries which have very poor healthcare systems, that might well become a risk. What's interesting so far is that countries in the regions have managed to control it. So there has been in Nigeria, but then places have been cleared and they have managed to control it. So we're not seeing that yet. I think the real worry is in the countries themselves, where the numbers could run out of control, and where, if infection keeps infecting 2 people for every person that's getting it at the moment, we are unsustainable.
And these are countries, some of which have come out of civil war. I mean, is there now a risk that this could be a catalyst for civil unrest, and you could see a breakdown in society there?
That's certainly, and people are concerned about it. I don't think it's an accident the US has sent so many troops in, and the number of troops is the same as the Liberian army, so this is a serious number of troops in country. At the moment, yes, there are minor unrests coming up, but not seeing the major ones yet.
OK, Manuel, thank you very much.